There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in season.
Till death do us part. Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. Well, it seems that regardless of the divorce stats that the news reports, black women and men are still holding to the traditional till death do us part. African Americans are holding steady as second only to Asians as the least likely to get divorced. As I've said for years and years, African Americans as a group are conservative and hold to traditional views of marriage and family. The African American community are not inclusive as a group, unlike the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party continuously shames African Americans to stay with the party. The reason this works is because of the very conservative views that African Americans hold. Here's the breakdown. African Americans feel that they owe any other African Americans help if they quote unquote make it. The problem arises in the definition of make it. By anyone else's standard or analysis, African Americans that fall prey the most to the shaming of the Democratic Party are the ones who have very little money and almost no wealth to speak of. So their conservatism is actually used against them to their own detriment. And you might say, Shakaama, why doesn't the Republican Party reach out to them and bring African Americans back into the party, which they used to be 100% of? Dangling participle there. You'll excuse me. I'm sorry, dangling preposition. That reveals a historical fact that is also lied about over and over. The Republican Party did not switch with the Democratic Party. During the 50s, 60s, and 70s, the Democratic Party saw the writing on the wall. While they were almost 70% to 30% of the Republicans, most of the country was still right of center. So the Republicans were a tiny party. So the Democrats took it over, not switch sides. This is now called the establishment. So your Republican Party at the top echelon is no more Republican than my shoe. And any real conservative should not make it to the top echelon. Not to say that they shouldn't, more like they can't. Which then begs the question, how is Trump president of the United States? Very clearly, Trump is not and never has been a conservative nor a Republican. He announced he would run Republican when he found out that Hillary Clinton was in the campaign. He knew that she would win the nomination due to the DNC's shenanigans, so he ran against her, so he was able to gain the nomination of the Republican Party easily. Why? Because he had the most name recognition worldwide, not just in the United States. This means all the Republicans on the Hill are compromised to such a degree they might as well be called Democrats. So they are not going to reach out to black people to join the party because to them, they're in the exact party they want them in. But the more we march on in time in this country, and every other group except Asians and blacks have problems with their women to the point that the men have to deal with false accusations, ridiculous family court corruption during divorce, and divorce itself, at 70% being filed by women. Being African American seems to have a bright side to it. So, for Black History Month, understand that black men and women are making history right now. That is going unspoken and unnoticed, and no one is going to ever tell it. That's why we even have a Black History Month. And another black fact, 92% of all black men marry black women, and 97% of black women are married to black men. Also, to settle a big fat lie, the more educated the black woman and successful she is, the higher the chance she is to be married, to the tune of 75% of PhD holding black women are married. Of course, it's to black men. So ignore the stupid Hollywood vision of black people never being married to each other. as you always see in the commercials, movies, TV shows, and the news, showing off interracial couples. It's so rare as to be like Bigfoot marrying a unicorn. Please like the video, share it, and subscribe. Please do subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and donate to patreon.com/Shakaama to keep the channel going to tell you the truth.